The chlorine-scented air hit me like a wave as I stepped into the community pool in suburban Chicago, my heart pounding not from the summer heat, but from the guy walking beside me. Ben, my straight best friend since high school, slapped my back with that easy grin of his, oblivious to the storm brewing inside me. Little did I know, that casual invite to cool off would unravel everything I thought I knew about us. I tossed my towel onto a lounge chair, trying to play it cool as Ben stripped down to his swim trunks. At 25, we were both out of college, navigating the real world. Me as a graphic designer in a cramped downtown office, him as a mechanic at his dad's garage. Ben was the epitome of straight-laced Midwestern charm. Tall, broad-shouldered, with sun-kissed hair and a laugh that could disarm anyone. Me, Alex, the quiet one, hiding behind sketches and secrets. I'd known I was gay since sophomore year, but coming out in our conservative town felt like jumping into the deep end without knowing how to swim. Ben was the only one who knew, and he'd shrugged it off like it was no big deal. "Dude, you're still you," he'd said. But lately, being around him stirred something deeper, something I couldn't ignore. We dove in, the water shocking my skin. Ben splashed me first, turning it into a full-on war. Laughter echoed off the tiled walls as we raced laps, his powerful strokes outpacing mine every time. "Come on, Alex, you're slacking," he yelled, his voice cutting through the splashes. I caught up, grabbing his ankle in a mock tackle, and for a split second, our bodies tangled underwater. His hand brushed my side, lingering just a beat too long. I surfaced, gasping, my face flushed not from exertion. Was that intentional? No, Ben was straight, engaged to Sarah, his high school sweetheart, wedding bells set for next spring. But as we floated on our backs, staring at the blue sky through the glass roof, he turned to me. "Man, I needed this. Life's been heavy lately." His words hung there, inviting more. I propped myself on the pool edge, water dripping from my hair. "What's up? Sarah giving you grief?" Ben sighed, pulling himself up beside me, our thighs almost touching. "Nah, she's great. It's just expectations, you know? Dad wants me to take over the garage. Sarah's talking kids already. Feels like I'm on a conveyor belt." I nodded, my pulse quickening. This was Ben opening up, vulnerable in a way he rarely was with others. "You don't have to follow the script, Ben. Life's yours to write." He looked at me then, really looked, his blue eyes searching mine. "Yeah? Easier said than done in this town." The afternoon wore on, families trickling in with kids splashing around. We grabbed sodas from the vending machine, sitting cross-legged on our towels. Ben talked about his doubts, how the garage felt like a cage, how he envied my free spirit in the city. I shared my own struggles, dealing with subtle homophobia at work, the loneliness of dating apps that led nowhere. "At least you know what you want," he said softly. "I feel like I'm faking it half the time." My heart ached for him, but also for me. Was this friendship evolving, or was I reading too much into his words? As the sun dipped lower, casting golden hues across the water, Ben suggested one last dive. We stood on the board, him behind me. "Race you to the bottom," he challenged. I jumped first, but he followed close, our paths crossing in the depths. Surfacing, he was inches away, water beating on his chest. "Alex," he started, his voice low. "There's something I need to tell you." My breath caught. Was this the moment? But a lifeguard's whistle pierced the air, closing time. We gathered our things in silence, the unfinished sentence hanging like a promise. Driving home in his truck, the radio filling the awkward quiet, I wondered if I'd imagined the spark. But deep down I knew. This pool day had cracked open a door neither of us could close. That night, alone in my apartment, I replayed every glance, every touch. Ben texted, "Good times today, bro. Let's do it again soon." Bro. The word stung, a reminder of boundaries. But his confession about feeling trapped echoed in my mind. In a town where conformity was king, where church picnics and football games defined normalcy, Ben's unrest felt like a chink in the armor. I couldn't help but hope, dangerous as it was, that he was questioning more than just his career. The next week dragged. Work was a blur of deadlines, but my thoughts kept drifting to Ben. We met for coffee midweek, a habit since college. He seemed distracted, fidgeting with his cup. Sarah and I had a fight, he admitted, about the future. She wants stability, but I'm not sure I'm ready. I listened, offering advice, all while battling my own turmoil. Was I a friend or something more? The line blurred further when he hugged me goodbye, his embrace lingering. Thanks for being there, Alex. You're the only one who gets it. Tension built as days turned into weeks. Ben started calling more, venting about his life. One evening, he showed up at my door unannounced, beer in hand. Mind if I crash? Sarah's out with friends, and I need space. We sat on my balcony overlooking the city lights, sharing stories under the stars. He talked about his childhood, the pressure from his conservative parents to be the perfect son. They'd freak if they knew half the stuff in my head, he said, his voice laced with frustration. I opened up too, about the rejection I'd faced from old friends after coming out. It hurts, but it's freeing, I told him. Our conversations deepened, revealing layers we'd hidden for years. One weekend, Ben invited me to a family barbecue, his parents' annual summer bash in their sprawling backyard. I hesitated. His family was old school, with crosses on the walls and Fox News on loop. But Ben insisted. Come on, it'll be fun. Plus, I need backup. Arriving, I felt eyes on me, the gay friend in a sea of straight couples. Ben's dad, Mr. Harlan, clapped me on the shoulder. Alex, good to see you. Keeping my boy out of trouble? I laughed it off, but the undercurrent of judgment was there. Sarah was polite, but her smiles didn't reach her eyes when Ben and I joked around. As burgers sizzled, Ben pulled me aside to the garage, his domain. Tools lined the walls, the smell of oil thick. This is what they want for me, he gestured. But it's not me. His frustration boiled over. I feel like I'm living someone else's life. I placed a hand on his arm, a gesture meant to comfort. He didn't pull away. Instead, he leaned in, our foreheads almost touching. What if I want something different? The air crackled. Voices from the party snapped us back. We rejoined the group, but the moment lingered. Later, as fireworks lit the night sky, 4th of July weekend, Ben and I sat on the grass, away from the crowd. Sarah was chatting with relatives, giving us space. Alex, that thing at the pool. I meant to say I've been thinking about us. My heart raced. Us. He nodded. You're the one person who makes me feel real, not this facade. Was he confessing? Before I could respond, his mom called him over. The night ended with unresolved tension, Sarah eyeing us suspiciously as we said goodbye. Driving home, doubt crept in. Was Ben questioning his sexuality, or just his life choices? In our community, where same-sex anything was whispered about, pursuing this could destroy friendships, families. But the pull was undeniable. The next day, Ben texted, "Sorry if that was weird, just confused." I replied carefully, but inside, hope flickered. Our hangouts intensified. We hiked in the nearby state park, sweat-soaked and laughing. At a clearing overlooking the lake, Ben stopped. "Remember when we were kids, dreaming big? I missed that freedom." I sat beside him on a log. "You can still have it." He turned, his hand brushing mine. This time he didn't move it. We sat there, fingers intertwined subtly, watching the sunset. Felt right but terrifying. What if this was a phase for him? What if Sarah found out? Social conflicts emerged. At a local bar with mutual friends, one guy, Mike, a loudmouth from high school, made a crude joke about gays taking over. Ben tensed but stayed silent. Later, in the parking lot, he exploded. That pissed me off. Why didn't I say something? I shrugged. Fear. He looked ashamed. I hate that about myself. That night solidified something. Ben was grappling with more than friendship. The turning point came during a road trip to Lake Michigan. Ben suggested it as a bro getaway, but the undercurrents were electric. We drove through cornfields, windows down, music blaring. Stopping at a diner, we shared a booth, our knees touching under the table. "Alex, I think I'm bi," he blurted over pancakes. My fork froze. "What?" He explained, years of suppressing feelings, attracted to women but also men, specifically, me. That pool day? It hit me. "But I'm scared." I reached across, squeezing his hand. "Me too. But we'll figure it out." Back on the road, euphoria mixed with anxiety. At the beach, we walked barefoot in the sand, waves crashing. Ben kissed me then, tentative under the moonlight. It was sweet, real, no fireworks but a quiet ignition. We talked all night in our motel room, boundaries blurring without crossing lines. He loved Sarah but felt trapped. I loved him but feared heartbreak. Returning home, reality crashed. Sarah confronted Ben. "What's going on with you and Alex?" He'd been distant, she said. They argued. Ben admitted doubts about the wedding. She stormed out, calling me the problem. Word spread, small-town gossip. Ben's parents heard rumors, pulling him aside. "Is this true? Are you gay?" Mr. Harlan thundered. Ben denied it fully, but the seed was planted. "We're just friends," he insisted, but his voice wavered. I faced backlash too. At work, a colleague overheard whispers and made snide comments. "Careful, Alex. Don't turn straight guys." It stung, reinforcing isolation. Friends divided. Some supported, others distanced. Mike confronted me at a coffee shop. "You're messing with Ben's head. He's not like you." I defended us, but doubt gnawed. Was I pushing him? Ben and I met secretly in a park. "This is harder than I thought," he admitted, tears in his eyes. "Losing Sarah, my family. But losing you would be worse." We hugged, but societal pressure mounted. His church group intervened, preaching about traditional values. Ben attended a session, emerging conflicted. "They say it's a choice, a sin." I argued back, "Love isn't wrong." The debate raged, our relationship a battleground for broader issues. One night, Ben showed up bruised, not physically but emotionally. His dad had cut him off financially unless he straightened out. Choose, the garage and Sarah, or this. The ultimatum shattered him. I held him as he cried, questioning everything. Was our love worth the cost? Drama escalated. Ben broke off the engagement officially, citing irreconcilable differences. Sarah, heartbroken, lashed out on social media. Subtle posts about betrayal that fueled rumors. The town buzzed. "Ben's gone gay because of Alex." Protests at the local Pride event turned ugly, with signs decrying unnatural influences. Ben and I attended anonymously, but someone recognized us. Shouts followed. "Sinners!" We fled, adrenaline pumping. At home, Ben's mom pleaded, "Think of your future, your soul." He stood firm for the first time. "This is me, Mom." But the rejection hurt. Friends like Mike organized an intervention, cornering Ben at the garage. "You're throwing it all away for a phase." Ben punched the wall, storming out. He came to me raw and angry. Why is it so hard for them to accept? We spent the night talking, strengthening our bond amid chaos. A major conflict arose when Ben's sister, supportive secretly, outed us to help. But it backfired. His parents disinvited him from family events. Isolation set in. I faced my own family. My parents, liberal but distant, worried about safety. In this climate, be careful. News of hate crimes in nearby cities amplified fears. High drama peaked at a community meeting on family values. Ben spoke up unexpectedly. "Love is love, regardless." Boos erupted, but a few clapped. It was a turning point, Ben embracing his truth publicly. But backlash followed. Vandalism at the garage, anonymous threats. We hunkered down, our relationship tested. "Is this worth it?" Ben asked one stormy night. "Yes," I whispered. "Because it's real." Resolution came slowly. Ben quit the garage, pursuing mechanic certification elsewhere. A fresh start. We moved to a more accepting Chicago neighborhood, building a life together. His family thawed gradually. His sister bridged gaps, leading to tentative reconciliations. Sarah moved on, wishing him well in a heartfelt letter. Society's wounds healed unevenly. Some friends returned, others faded. But our love endured, forged in fire. Years later, looking back, that pool day was the catalyst. We navigated prejudice, self-doubt, and choices that defined us. Ben discovered his bisexuality. I found courage in vulnerability. Our story sparked debates in our old town, challenging norms. Was Ben's decision to embrace his true self, despite the societal upheaval, ultimately the right choice?